In this video, I want to look at how to trade reversal pattern, and I'll be sharing with you how exactly you can spot the reversal pattern, where you can spot those reversal pattern, how to spot it, where to spot it, and how to make an entry. All of that is what I'll be sharing with you in this video. The reversal pattern we are looking at is the M and W chart pattern. And of course, in our previous video, we've talked about that we have three major types of M and W. We say we have a perfect M and we have a perfect W, which is the first set of the pattern. And we also talked about the fact that we have the W, with the first leg is longer than the second leg, and we have, that is M, and we have a W whose short leg is longer than the second one. And the third pattern is that we have the M with the first leg is short, but the second leg is a bit higher than the previous one. And the same thing is applicable with the W. We have a short leg and then we have a longer leg. So these are the three major types of M and W chart pattern. So for us to be able to make an entry in this scenario, we will need the neckline to be broken regardless of the formation. Either a perfect M, here is the neckline. This particular region is our neckline. So we will always want price to break the neckline. And in this scenario, you notice that it is assumed that this has been going in an uptrend because the M is a reversal pattern for an uptrend, which means changing from a buy to a sell. So we'll need price to break the neckline and then come to retest the neckline and will continue to go to the downside. What some people don't know is the fact that they have forgotten that this particular M pattern is the same thing like a break of structure. Because in a break of structure, market will be doing something like this, which is also another pattern of M. Either it is equal or it is high. So once this neckline is broken, it's the same thing as a break of structure. So this retest is either retesting into a fair value gap, or is retesting into an order block or a demand zone in order to continue to the downside. So the same thing is applicable to this M and W pattern, but this M and W chart pattern is becoming more or less to us like a double confirmation. So let's look at first where we can get some M and W pattern that has played out in this price scenario. Here, this is an M pattern, and you can see how this particular M pattern plays out. That is one of the M pattern, and you can see here as well we have another M pattern. Now for you to get a reversal for an M pattern, you need to set up this particular Bollinger Band that I am using, because the M pattern are 80% of the time formed around the upper Bollinger Band, and I'm going to share the setting of this Bollinger Band with you. So the most of the time price reverse from that place as the peak. So this Bollinger Band serves to us as the peak, as the point of exhaustion. So most of the time, this reversal is formed from that zone. While from the lower Bollinger Band, the W pattern is usually formed from the lower Bollinger Band. This is how simple it is for you, and you can understand what this is all about. This is an M pattern. You can see that this one, this first leg, is higher than the previous leg. Okay, so in this, most of the time when you have a higher leg, that is higher than the previous leg, if we have an indicator here now, either a MACD or our RSI, you realize that there is an issue of divergence that is happening in this scenario. So in the subsequent video, we'll be looking at how we can combine our divergence strategy with it to see how we will make our entry. Here we have another one. Right, so this one, you might look at this and say, okay, is this not an M pattern? This is not an M pattern. Why? Because for this M pattern formation, definitely when this was forming, you will mark it and be observing it as your M pattern. But remember, we said for this leg to validate our entry, this neckline must be broken. This neckline has to be broken by this movement. So in as much as this movement did not break this neckline, it is not a valid M pattern. And look at what happened here. Here we have our M pattern. This is an M pattern. And look at what happened. This neckline was broken. So if you are to have a trend line previously, this would have been your trend line. Let's get our trend line. Right, this is our trend line connecting our higher low, and look at what happened. This is our M formation. So when this leg was coming, it break this structural point, and when it break it, what we are having here, this is a retest of price. And if you look at it critically, there is an imbalance in that candle. That's why I told you the other time that this is look in a broader perspective, just as if we are trading a structure. Look at it, there's an improper price action in between here. So this went up, feel that improper price action and begin to move to the downside. And that is why it is important you take advantage and pay attention to every video that we share with you on this channel, where we talk about improper price action. So this is our M pattern. So this is broken upon the retest to this point. We use our candlestick formation to make our entry. So this movement, this is a retest. This comes down now. So this is a pullback. What we are seeing here is a pullback. Now it must not touch this particular trend line. Why? Because it has already filled an imbalance here. Also, I have still having another imbalance above here, very tiny one. So this is how you can take advantage of each of these. Remember, I told you that you can find this W around the middle Bollinger Band. This is another W around the lower Bollinger Band. I beg your pardon. That is the best place you can find it. The best place, lower Bollinger Band, upper Bollinger Band for a reversal. And if you are looking forward for a continuation, you pay attention to the middle Bollinger Band. This thing is very, very simple and it is working. It has been back tested, it has been proven. Pay attention to each of these things, you will see form. This is another one. And of course, remember our trend line is connected this way. So what happened? Our M keep forming, and then here it break the trend line. And look at what happened. It came back, but despite that, it went again. You break it, retest it, and it continued to the upside. So this is how a perfect M, and most of the time the first leg of the M will form from the previous day into a new day. That is one of key things you need to take note of. The first leg of the M will form from a previous day into a new day. These dotted lines are my period separator. This was forming from another day into a new day. Most often, that is how these patterns are formed. Most of the time, form from another day into a new day. Look at this. Form from this day into another day. So you begin to pay attention to it and then see how this pattern plays out beautifully. You can see how perfect this plays out, and they are everywhere on your chart.